how to respect your sexual boundaries. Hey my love, it's Magda K. I am an intimacy coach and the founder of the School of Intimacy, and my book, No More Faking It, is now available. So if you want to get your copy, check the link below this video and you can get the physical book or the digital version, many different online shops, of course, Amazon, many more. My love, I'm so excited. This is my first book ever. It's my baby and I would love for you to have a copy and to hear how you liked it. So make sure to check the link below to get your copy. And now let's get to the topic for today. And it is a very important topic for many women: our sexual boundaries. How to set them, how to uphold them, and how to know if we are crossing them. If you find yourself having sex often, but then realizing that everything that the guy told you, that's not actually who he is, and if you're getting tired of men not being in their integrity and feeling like he doesn't respect you and just doesn't tell you the truth, doesn't show you who he really is, well then this video is for you. I've been there myself. If you guys know my story, I spent quite a few years in a tantric community, which practically speaking was a sex cult. So I lived in a sex cult, which of course means that sex was very present and very available, and all of us were having a lot of sex. We were practically all practicing polyamory, which meant even more sex. And the thing is that this community didn't really encourage boundaries of self-reflection, if that was actually in the best interest. So there were a few situations when I just kind of felt like it wasn't all that good, but I thought, not a big deal. Well, but was it really not a big deal? Our society is really funny when it comes to sex. Like, we all want it. We over-sexualize everything. We use sex to sell things. We sexualize people, but then at the same time, we shame anything around sexuality. We call people who want to have sex like sluts, etc. And then you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to show it. There's no education. It's like, what is this weird relationship to sex that we have? It's so unhealthy. So sex is natural. Sex is beautiful. And sex is a big deal, especially for women. It's a big deal physically, emotionally, and psychologically. For a woman to have sex means that you are letting someone inside of you, their physical body and their energy. Like, it actually enters you. If we know that we need to be mindful about who enters our house, who enters our car, shouldn't we be at least just as mindful about who enters our physical body and our aura? So it is a big deal, because when someone is inside of you, they hugely impact you. They impact your nervous system, they impact your energy, and according to some studies, even impact your future babies. But then, of course, on the other hand, we can go into another extreme and not let anyone in, because there's always red flags and he never deserves to be inside of me. So how do we know? Like, how can you say if being intimate with someone is going to be good for you? Like, remembering that no one is perfect, that no matter what guy you're choosing, there's gonna be something you don't like. There's going to be some red flag, something that just is really not nice. So how do we get to choose? Because we cannot be waiting for the perfect men. They don't exist. There are no perfect women either. So we want to accept a person's humanity and just, there are going to be some aspects that are not very good, but still you want to be able to determine if connecting intimately, connecting physically, exchanging energies, if that will serve you or not. And here is where my signature FPower FPower Method comes into play. It's a system that I developed over a decade of working with men and women around their sexuality. It's something that I've learned about based on my mistakes and dishonoring my own boundaries. And I have studied a lot of things. Like, I've done a lot of different modalities, and still I would say that the FPower Method is the best tool there is for women to know for sure if they should be having sex or not. It is the best system for women to really honor your boundaries and make sure that any sexual experience you have is in full alignment of your truth, your desires, and your boundaries. So how does this system work? Well, I'm pretty sure that until now, more than once, you were asking yourself, you were checking in with your intuition to know, is this guy good for me or not? Is this good for me to engage sexually with this person or not? But the response you've been getting probably hasn't always been very clear. So sometimes maybe you are extremely confused because that inner voice was telling you yes and no at the same time. Sometimes maybe it kept yelling at you, yes, 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 go for it, and then you got in trouble. Hey, I have a situation like this when I did go for this one guy and I woke up with UTI. The only time I got UTI after sex because it was not in alignment with my body, but I couldn't understand it back then because I wasn't familiar with the system. See, the reason why we get so confused about this inner voice is because we think that there is only one. Instead, my love, you have 4 inner voices. And each of them wants something different. It's trying to convince you to do something different. You can think of those inner voices like 4 people, 4 kids, and they all want something and they can be pretty selfish. And so this is why sometimes it feels like a part of you really wants to have sex with this guy, and then another part of you says no, and you feel conflicted because how can you say yes and no at the same time? So what the FPower Method is the system of working with these 4 inner voices. I call them your 4 power centers. And these power centers are your head, your heart, your gut, and your pussy. And so what you want to do is actually communicate with all of them, listen to what they need, and then be able to provide for their needs so they can all be in alignment. You want to get to the place where all 4 tell you, yep, this guy is good for us, yep, we can have sex with him, yep, we can engage, yep, we can go into the relationship with this guy. In other words, you're going to be in your fuck yes state, which I'm pretty sure you've heard because it became so popular a few years ago, right? It's like, it has to be a fuck yes, if not, it's a no. But how often do you feel a fuck yes in your life? It's easier said than done, because hardly anything feels like 100% fuck yes in our life. And the reason being is because usually these 4 voices are not aligned. So the FPower Method is about learning to work with all 4 power centers to bring them to a consensus, where all of them say yes or no. Because this is the only situation when you are actually fully respecting yourself. So see, we say it's a no big deal, but it's a huge big deal. Because if a part of you says, do not have sex with this guy, and you choose to ignore it, what you're actually doing is called self-abuse. And maybe it doesn't matter when you do it once or twice, but if you do it more often, it becomes a pattern of gaslighting your own needs and abusing yourself. You're essentially communicating to your body that what it needs doesn't matter. You are overriding yourself, and that is very dangerous. It makes your body feel unsafe. It puts your nervous system into fight or flight mode, and it lowers your self-esteem. So, if you would like to learn about the 4 power centers and how to work with them, this is what my brand new book, No More Faking It is about. I introduce you to this system, and it's the first time that I am speaking about the system with the public. Until now, it's something I used for my one-on-one VIP clients, but I just heard so many stories from them of how much they love the system and how much it helped them. So I knew that this is what my first book was going to be about. So the No More Faking It book tells you exactly what these 4 power centers, these 4 voices are, what they want, when to listen to each of them and when not to. And then you get practices to connect to those 4 power centers and how to work with all of them to find this perfect alignment that allows you to honor your sexual boundaries. And on top of this, I have a free gift for anyone who gets a copy of the book. You are getting 7 audio guided practices. So of course, reading book is great, but I understand that if you really want to go deep into your practice with your body, it's amazing to be able to close your eyes and relax. And so you will have me, my voice, guide you through a step-by-step practice of actually using these 4 power centers for many different daily situations. So this gift is available for anyone who gets their copy of the book. All the instructions, you'll find them inside the book. So you can head to www.magdak.com/book or check the link in the description of this video to get your copy. Digital or physical, whatever you prefer, both are available. And my love, I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a like. It means so much to me to see your engagement. Leave a comment below, and if you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell icon to get notified when a new video comes out. And if we are not yet connected on Instagram, make sure to find me. It's Magda K Official. This way you get a more personal insight into my life. Darling, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to catch you next week. Bye!